Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is the part 3 of my data science video series. So in this video we are going to see basic of pandas, then we will move some advanced concepts like data cleaning and data validation. So first we will start with basic and we will go to the advanced level. So this video may be little bit long, so let's go ahead. Okay, so what is pandas? Pandas is a open source library. Okay, we use it for data cleaning and data analysis, and when we want to deal with like huge excel file or data frame. So pandas support two type of data type. First one is series and second one is data frame. What does it means? So when we talk about data frame is a special type of data that is represented in row and column. Suppose you have a database, or suppose you are having an excel sheet, their data are in rows and columns. So we'll look into those kind of data. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the code. So let me open my Visual Studio. Okay, so what we'll do, I will create a new file first, and I will take Jupyter notebook. I will say save, and let's call it test. Okay, now to import any library, we know we have to import, to use any library we know we have to import that library first. So हम लोग pandas को import करेंगे. I will write import pandas as pd. And if you want to learn about what is importing means, how to import a library or how to write your own module or a library, I have already created a video. You can go ahead and watch that. Okay, so we have imported pandas. Okay, now suppose we have a 3 list. Okay, we have a list. So suppose we have a car list. Okay, and in first we are having name of the car. Suppose Maruti, say BMW. Okay, sorry, BMW in quotes, BMW, Audi, then say Lambo, that is Lamborghini, and then say Bugatti. So these are some of the famous brands of the car. Okay, now I have taken a list. Sorry. Now let's say create a list, another list. Is there diesel model or petrol model? I will write it diesel. Okay, and for first I will say yes. We will take some random values. You just want to demonstrate. Okay, so I will say no, I will say yes, no. Okay, how many of these? 1 2 3 4 5. Again 1 2 3 4 and 5. We are good. Okay, now let's say something. Okay, leave it like that. So we are having two list, and we will create a dictionary from this list. So I will say my dict. If you remember what is a dictionary is a special kind of data type in Python which keep value in key and value pair. So our first key will be let's say brand. Okay, and brand, then colon, and then the car list. Okay, comma, let's say diesel, and is diesel. Okay, now let's go ahead and print this dictionary. So as you can see, we have a dictionary which is in which we are having a car brand and we are having a diesel. So now assume each key as a column. So suppose करो एक जो की है वो कॉलम है और जो लिस्ट की वैल्यूज हैं दैट आर रोज, दैट आर रोज। सो अगर हम लोग इसे डेटा फ्रेम में कन्वर्ट करें तो कैसा होगा, एक कॉलम बनेगा ब्रांड, दूसरा कॉलम बनेगा डीजल, और देन उसके अंदर ये डेटाज होंगे मारुति, BMW, ऑडी, लैम्बो, बुगाटी, एंड देन यस नो नो यस नो। ओके, सो लेट्स गो ahead and achieve this by using pandas. Okay, so we have already imported pandas. Now let's show pd equal to, sorry, name of your data frame. You can give any data frame name. So suppose let's say cars equal to pd dot, I will call the data frame function and I will pass the name of my dict here. Okay, now let's go ahead and print this cars. Okay, so as you can see, it converted our data in a more meaningful way, like brand name and then the diesel column, and then is saying Maruti yes, BMW no, Audi yes, Lambo yes, Bugatti no. Okay, so it has mapped the data of the both list in a very meaningful manner. Okay, now instead of reading the data from the dictionary, let's go ahead and read the data from a CSV file. That will make more sense to us. Okay, in real life scenario we generally take data from the CSV files or a SQL database. So let's go ahead and read the CSV file. So to read the CSV file, we have a function called read CSV. Okay, in read CSV we pass the name of the file. So here you can see we have three CSV file: employee, player, and software details. So I will take any one of them for our distribution. I will take like employee.csv. Okay, and cards, now I will say dot head. Okay, so dot head is a function that will print by default the top 5 rows of your data frame. So if you print card dot head, it will print top 5 rows. Let me write in comment top 5 rows. Okay, so starting from the first, it will print the top 5 rows. Okay, now you can see that this is our file which is containing employee information. So we are having an employee ID, we are having the first name, the last name, the email ID, then the type of the employee, whether he is a contractor or he is a full-time employee, then the department, and then the salary. Okay, so now this data is little bit fishy because we are not, okay, I have written cars here. Let's change it to employee, that will make more sense to us. Okay, re-execute. Okay, now so as you can see in this data we are having no columns. Okay, no column names. It's taken the first row as the column by default. So how to resolve that? But before that, let's go ahead and see some basic of pandas functions. Like we have a function called info. Okay, so info will give information about your Excel file, like how many columns we are having. Okay, what is the data type of the column, what is the count of null values in that column. So as you can see, there are not null value, and these are these many values we are having. Okay, you can call save function, you can call save attribute to get the number of rows and the columns in your data frame. Okay, so we are having 9,999 rows in our data frame. Okay, and again we are having a describe function. Okay, what is a describe function? So describe function will give you statistical data. Statistical data means what is the mean of the values. Suppose if we talk about what is the mean of the values, what is the we are not getting like meaningful data, because we have not set the column name till now. So let's go ahead and set the column name for this data set first. Okay, so what I will do, I will call emp dot, I will say columns, and then I will put a list of the columns. Okay, so first one is, we know that is employee ID, then we are having first, okay, we missed the double quotes here. Okay, then I will say first name, then I will say last name, then I will say email, say type, okay, then say department, and then say salary. Okay, did I miss the spelling? Yes, salary. Okay, now let's go ahead and print again the top 5 or 10 rows. So to print, by default head function print 5 rows, but suppose we want to print 10 rows of our data frame, so I will mention here 10. Now when I run this, see, as you can notice, now we are getting proper column names here. Okay, employee ID, first name, last name, email, type, department, and then the salary. Okay, now let's go ahead and again call the describe function. We were at describe function, so we will call again the describe function. So I will call emp dot describe, and again run this. So see, describe function is giving me the mean and mean, median, max, 25 percentile, 50 percentile, 75 percentile of the data. Okay, what this means, this is a very meaningful data if we talk about the data analytics. So suppose what does mean by 25 percentile? So it simply means 25% of your employee or 25% of your data is having this salary amount. So 25% of my employee are getting this much salary. 50% is simply means median. Okay, so 50% of my employee is getting this salary. 75% of my employee is getting this salary, and the maximum salary is this, minimum salary is this. Okay, standard means standard deviation, and mean simply means the average salary. So the average salary for the employee is this. Okay, so this work on the numerical columns. So it's had taken 2 columns, employee ID and the salary. So employee ID data is not meaningful to us. We can go ahead and say something like employee dot salary dot describe. Okay, I think I have made a mistake, SALARY. okay, sorry. Okay, now if you see, now we are getting the information about the salary only. Okay, data type is float, the count is 9,999. okay, mean is 528138. okay, as you can see, we are getting 9,999 because the first row is being considered as header, which should not be the case. Okay, so for that we have to mention, while reading this data file, where we have read the data file, you can simply mention like header equal to none. It simply means our data frame or our CSV file doesn't contains any headers. Now when you go ahead and I will re-execute all this, and now when you go ahead and run this, now we are getting the total amount of data, that is 10,000 rows. Okay, Now the mean value also changed, because now it's taking consideration the one call or one row which was missing. Okay, so now this is the mean, this is the standard deviation, this is the minimum salary, this is the maximum salary, again this is the 25 percentile, 50 percentile, 75 percentile. Okay, so hope you understood till now. Okay, now we will go ahead and deep dive into the cleaning part, and we will do some analytical analysis using Excel files. Okay, for that let me go ahead and use some other CSV which I have created. Okay, so now one thing is remaining. We can also set Syndic index for our file. Okay, suppose it's by default it's taking a new row as an index column. Okay, so suppose you want to set this employee ID at the index. Okay, so what I'll do here I will mention, while reading the file we can mention here, while we are reading the file I will mention index call equal to, I will say 0. So it will take the first column at the index column. Okay, now when we go ahead and run, so the first column we had taken is index, so we have to remove this from here. Okay, now when I run this, you can see it's taking ID as a index column. Okay, now let's suppose you want to give name, meaningful name to our index, so that I will say emp dot index dot name. Okay, and I will say emp id or simply id, anything whichever you want. Okay, now this data frame is making more sense to me. We are getting employee ID, we are getting first name, we are getting last name, we are getting email, we are getting type, we are getting department, we are getting salary. Okay, now let's suppose we want data only for full-time employee. We want to check how many full-time employee we are having. Okay, so there are two approach. Okay, we are first way you can say, we can do like emp dot type. We want to in type column we have mentioned whether the employee is a contractor or a full-time employee. So I will write emp dot type. This is a way of writing the column name in Pandas. Okay, either you can write this way or you can write this way. Remove the dot, then the both will work fine. Okay, so for this example let's take type only. Okay, type dot value count. Now it's a very important function. It will tell you the count of the values, different values in your that specific column. So we have FTE is 5047. Okay, and the contractor is having 4953. So we are having 4,953 contractors and 5,047 full-time employees. So this is the first way of getting the full-time employee. Now let's suppose you want to fetch all the columns related to this full-time employee. Okay, so what we'll do, we will make use of data frame here. Okay, so what I'll do, I will write like emp, and then I will give a square bracket, and I will say something like in a small bracket I will write emp type equals FTE. Okay, now when I print this, see I am getting the data only for full-time employees. Okay, we have created a subset of this data frame. This is the main data frame, this is the main data frame which contains both data of the contractor also, data of the full-time employee also, but we have fetched a subset of this data frame where in the language of Excel we can say you have created a filter where you are filtering only the full-time employees here. So we have a separate data set or separate sheet where we are having only full-time employees here. So any operations if you will perform, and let call it something different, call it FTE DF, okay, full-time employee data frame. Okay, now let print FTE DF dot head. So in this way you have created a separate data frame, or in language of Excel let's assume you have created a set where you are filtering the employees only who are full-time employees. Okay, now you suppose you want to fetch only full-time employees that are from HR department. Okay, that are from HR department. So how can you achieve that? Okay, let me write in comment first. FTE, write something like fetch FTE from HR department. Okay, fetch FTE from HR department. So here you can use AND operator. AND returns true only when both conditions are true. We have seen it in the operators video which I have told you in my previous video. If you have not seen that video, you can go ahead and see that video also. So now we will put the second condition, and our second condition is the department should be HR. Okay, so I will simply write EMP department equals HR. Okay, now when I go ahead and print this, you can see I am getting data only from this full-time employees who belongs to HR department. Sorted. Now let's suppose I want to fetch employees, full-time employees from HR data whose salary is greater than say 8 lakhs or 7 lakhs something, having salary greater than 8 lakhs. Okay, so how much is this? Okay, this is fine, this is 8 lakhs. Okay, so how can we do that? First you go ahead and try this. I will give you 10 seconds, and then I will tell you the answer. So let's go ahead and try this by your own. You can comment the answers. Okay, now let's go ahead and see the output. So I will put another AND condition, and I will simply say EMP SALARY salary should be greater than, and 8 lakhs we want, so I will just copy paste this. Okay, now when I run this, I am getting so as you can see I am getting only the full-time employees who belongs to HR department and whose salary is greater than 8 lakhs. Sorted. Okay, now let's go ahead and perform some advanced operation or data frame. So this all was the basic. We have created the subset, we have set the column names, we have so let's go ahead and revise what we did first. Okay, so we have imported a CSV file. Okay, we print the head to see which kind of data it contains. Then we do some like sanitation. We give the proper column name, we have set the index, then we described that column to understand what is the minimum, what is the standard, what is the 25 percentile, 50 percentile and 75 percentile value. Then we did the value count to find out how many employees are FTE, how many employees are contractor. Then what we did, we fetched a subset from the main data frame according to certain conditions. So our condition was employee type should be FTE, employee department should be HR, and employee salary will be greater than 8 lakhs. Okay. Now in next video we will see some of the more advanced options of pandas, like cleaning the null values and checking the data frame more efficiently. So see you in the next video. Till then, bye bye.